Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you are new. If you are new, my name is Elena. I am the homeschooling mom to 3 kiddos, and here on my channel we just talk about homeschooling and homemaking and all the chaos that we're drawing inspiration from. So today what we're going to do is get some meal prep done for me and probably for my husband too, for the upcoming week. One of my goals for this month was to start meal prepping a little bit more because I was not eating breakfast and then I would hastily try to grab something for lunch and it was just a mess. I was not hitting my goals calorie and protein wise, and so I wanted to get a better grip on that. Today is actually, on the day of filming, it is actually Labor Day, so it will be a shorter kind of work week for us. So I don't really have to prep too much, but if I end up having too much food, too many things prepped, I can go ahead and put them in the freezer, which is what sometimes we like to do. What I'm hoping to make today is 2 breakfasts for myself. My husband kind of knows what he wants for breakfast. He's already got some stuff prepped in the freezer for him for the week, so it would probably just be breakfast for me. And then for lunch, I'm going to prep some salads. Hopefully, I have to check if our salad is still good. I'm going to also make a sausage and sweet potato kind of bowl prep. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. So let's get to it. Okay, the first thing I think I'm going to do is start on the egg casserole that I'm going to make. I'm going to attempt to make a chile relleno casserole. My mom has a recipe that she's given me, but it has like a stick of butter in it and then half a cup of flour and a cup of cheese in addition to 12 eggs. So I think that I'm going to see if I can maybe take the recipe and lighten it up a bit and kind of add a couple of other things. We'll see. Let's see what I end up making. And then I also have the oven already going. It is preheating to 400 degrees for both the eggs, and then I'm going to do some sweet potatoes too. So the oven is warming up. Let me get the egg mixture going. So I have my scale underneath my bowl here so that I can track how much of each ingredients we're putting in to make sure that I calculate the macros correctly. I'm just going to use 2 eggs. And then I'm also going to add 240 grams of egg whites. I'm going to add 291 grams of low-fat cottage cheese, and then salt and pepper and a can of diced green chilies with the juice. I'm going to go ahead and put it in this 8x8 dish. You could make more and then put it in a 9x12 or even make little muffins, but I'm just going to make it in here and then we're going to cut it into 4ths for my husband and I. And then to weigh the final product, you could do one of 2 things. I think what I'm going to try to do is go ahead and put the, I'm going to weigh what the pot holder, because when it comes out it's going to be hot and I'm going to want that pot holder on there, and my dish weigh by themselves. Okay, it's 1306. So 1306, when this comes out of the oven baked, is what I'm going to want to take away from the final product so that I get the measurement of the cooked egg mixture. So let's just spray this. Just using a little, this is avocado oil spray. I liked this one because it didn't have any it just had avocado oil in it. It didn't have any propellant. So I get this from Costco. We'll pour it in, and my oven already went off, and we can get this baking. And actually, since I have these eggs out, I'm going to go ahead and hard boil some eggs in my Instant Pot because we can add it to the salads if we want, but we can also just have it as a snack throughout the week. So to my Instant Pot, I'm just going to add, I have the little trivet in here, and then I'm going to add about a cup of water so it can come to pressure. So I was going to do, I had a dozen left and I was going to do all of them, but since it's a shorter week, I think I'm just going to do 8 for now. My kids will also snack on these, but it's like hit or miss some weeks. So I'm just going to do 8 because we can always do more if we want more. I'm gonna put it on, and I'm gonna set the timer for 6 minutes. I was doing 5 minutes, but I found that it was still a little soft in the middle for our taste. So I'm gonna do 6 minutes. Okay, the next thing I wanna do is check the salad to see if it's still good. I can already see there's parts that are not, that are getting kind of wilted. To see if I can salvage any of this to make salads for lunch. So I just bought this bag from Costco, and I'm gonna go through and see what we can save from here. Okay, thankfully it's actually not that bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in the fridge because I'm gonna make my dressing first so that I can put these in the jars and they'll be ready to roll for the week. To make my salad dressing, I'm going to use milk, honey. We got this giant thing from Azure. This is just some raw honey, 6 pounds of raw honey. Some homemade ranch mix, Greek yogurt, Dijon mustard, and then white wine vinegar. For the salad dressing, I'm going to add 106 grams of the Greek yogurt. That Greek yogurt that I'm using is from Costco, and it is fat-free, just for your macro sake if you're calculating along. And then 10 grams of Dijon mustard, 11 grams of the white wine vinegar. I use 5 grams of the honey, and then 2 grams of the Wellness Mama Ranch mix. And then I put in originally 11 grams of milk, but after stirring it around, the consistency was a little too thick for us. So I added 19 more just to get it a little thinner, and it came out to a total of 30 grams of milk. So for the protein for our salad jars, what I think we're going to use this week is tuna. And I will just use these packets of tuna instead of opening a can, because canned tuna will only stay fresh for like 2 to 3 days in the fridge. And if we don't eat it by then, I don't want it to go bad. So I think what I'll do for my husband is go ahead and put just the lettuce and some of the toppings in it, like the cheese and these pita chip things. And then I'm going to use these little containers that, these are from like applesauce, I think, or these might have been from like the mandarin oranges, little fruit cups that come in like a little 6-pack or what have you. Anyways, these we've washed and they fit right there on top. So then the dressing can sit in here and it won't get the salad kind of mushy throughout the week. If you were gonna go ahead and put everything in here first, if I wasn't using tuna, if I was using like maybe chicken instead, what you'd wanna do is put dressing first and then your chicken, or if you were gonna do like quinoa or something like that, your grains or ground turkey, whatever, then you would put that to kind of help soak up the dressing and to keep it fresh, and then to also keep a layer between that and your greens. Your greens are gonna go last, so then you would put in like any other toppings. You wanted to add bacon or olives, tomatoes, whatever else you wanted to add, you would put that in and then put your greens in last. But we're gonna keep it really simple today and just put in dressing and salad for my husband. I'm going to keep my salad in a different jar and then just add it out for me throughout the week. I'm not going to measure my husband's because he doesn't count his macros, so I'm just gonna fill up his jar with however much salad fits. I have some red onion, and so I'm gonna go ahead and dice this and put this in there for him too. I didn't weigh how much dressing was there. So in order to weigh it, I'm going to weigh one of these by itself because the dressing is in here. So that is 6 grams. Then I'm gonna go ahead and weigh it with this, and then I know how much dressing I put. I'm sure there's nothing else on it. Okay, so that's 40 total with this. So 40 minus 6 is 34. So I know I use 34 grams here, and then I'll just weigh out what I pour from here and to add it together. So that salad is done. I have 163 grams of salad and then 13 grams of the purple onion if you want to count that too. And then I'm just going to put the lid on mine and put a sticky note or a piece of tape on top so that I know that this one is mine and he has those. And then I'm just going to store the rest of the dressing in a jar here, and I'm going to weigh out how much we have left. The other thing to weigh out the salad dressing would just be to add in all the ingredients, because this wasn't getting cooked, so it wouldn't change the weight. Okay, and my eggs are done, so I am going to go ahead and put them in a bowl with some ice water to kind of stop them and cool them down. And then peel them and put them away. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and peel and chop this sweet potato for our lunches. Okay, the timer just went off for the egg casserole, so I'm going to check and see if that is cooked all the way through. And then I'm going to put the sweet potatoes in. Ideally, I would have got the sweet potatoes in at the same time and just had the oven on for that less of a time. But it didn't happen, and that's okay. Oh, it looks so good. It's still sizzling. So I'm going to put this to cool and get my sweet potatoes in. I think what I'll do too is dice up or chop up that rest of that purple onion I was using for the salad and put it in with the sweet potatoes, and just I'm going to spray it with the avocado oil and a little salt and pepper and just let that roast for a little bit. I'm not too concerned about cooking them all the way through because we are going to reheat it to cook, and the way that we reheat our foods is with these mini Hot Logics. We have these mini Hot Logics. It kind of works like a warming oven, and so you put it in, and then my husband has his on from when he gets to work until whenever he eats lunch. I try to put mine on in the morning, and then it kind of cooks it throughout the day, so it'll be nice and hot whenever we're ready to eat. I'm going to cut up some peppers to go in that lunch as well. Not too many, just a couple. Now, because these peppers are for my husband and I am not going to cut them very small. We actually like bigger chunks of them, but also I'm not going to roast them. You can roast them if you'd like before you cook them. You could have thrown them in with the onions and the potatoes, but I like it to have a little bit of crunch to still kind of have that bite, and so I'm just going to put them in like this, and then they'll warm up and kind of soften up the day that we eat them. Okay, while I'm waiting for the potatoes to kind of soften up and roast a little, I'm going to go ahead and cut up some of these sausages that we have purchased. We got these from Costco. It was a 2-pack, and I used one for some freezer meals that I made for this month, and I'm going to cut these up and put them in for part of our lunch. These sausages are already fully cooked, so I'm not going to toss them back in. I'm not going to put them to roast with anything else. I'm just going to cut them up and put them in our meal prep containers. The ingredients on here are pretty clean. It's really good, and then the macros and calories aren't bad either. For one link, it is 110 calories, 6 grams of fat, 1 carb, and 13 protein. So I think that we have enough where we could do 2 sausages each. So I think I'm going to do that. Okay, next I'm just gonna make some, mix some protein oats. I'm just gonna put in what we're gonna do, 3 ingredients, just oats, protein, and chia seeds. And then that way in the morning, we can take our little jars, dump it into a bowl, and then we just add hot water, boiling water from the tea kettle in here, and then have oats. Another option for breakfast. So again, for my husband, he doesn't count his macros, so I'm not going to weigh his stuff out. Okay, so here is what we have. We went ahead and made the casserole, and I will put up on the screen the macros for it. All I'm going to do with this one is cut it into 4 pieces, and then I just divided the macros by that. And so my husband and I can each have 2 slices for the week. Our protein oats, so we went ahead and made some protein oats. It turns out they're about the same. Didn't do the macros for my husband's oats. He's got about 3/4 a cup of oats and then protein and chia seeds. I did do the macros for my oatmeal, so I will go ahead and put that up on the screen here. The morning that we decide to have oatmeal, we'll just open up the little containers, put it in a bowl, and then like I said, we use the water kettle and we'll just boil some water and put that over, so it'll make for a fast breakfast. The next thing we did was the salad jars. Now mine doesn't have the dressing in it. I just went ahead and added some purple onion, and I weighed out my salad. This is from the Mediterranean salad from Costco. So I made our own dressing, the Greek dressing. I will put the macros for the entire amount of dressing up. Typically when I eat the salad, I'm using about 50 grams of salad dressing, so that day I can put it accordingly. But for macro's sake, I went ahead and just put in, I calculated what the salad plus 50 grams of dressing would be, and one of these tuna packets, some added protein, and then again that day, because we have hard-boiled eggs, we can go ahead and add an egg to it, or we can just save the eggs for a snack. But for the tuna and the salad and the dressing, I will put up the macros and the calorie count for this whole meal. And then the last lunch that we made was our sausage and peppers and sweet potatoes. So this is my husband's container. He likes to take the plastic ones because he has to go into work with them. And then since I am home, I go ahead and use the glass ones. So I will put the macros up on the screen for mine because I weighed mine out and I didn't weigh his out. But I will put it up for the entire serving for 1 container. And then that is it for our meal prep for this week. I just did some breakfast and lunch ideas, and I think that's more than enough to carry us on. We'll have family dinners together, so I don't really prep aside from like the freezer meals and things like that I do. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you spending your time with me. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you aren't already, please subscribe for more inspiration amongst our chaos.